Welcome. Let's look at possible answers to this question paper. Mathematical Literacy, May, June 2025. It was a 3-hour paper. Let's dive into question number 1, straightforward. Question number 1. Table 1 below shows a list of mathematical literacy terms or concepts in column A with descriptions in column B. Choose a description from column B that matches the term or concept in column A. Write only the letter A to I next to the question number. That means you should not write the words. You should not rewrite the words. Anyway, I will write my question paper. Sorry, my questions. Here we have 1.1.1, 1.1.2, 1.1.3, and 1.1.4. A ratio scale. You come this other side and you look at these answers here. What could it be? A ratio scale. Now, ratio scale, it's the same as a number scale. So here we have the answer as I. 1.1.2 grams in 1 ton. Remember, 1 ton has 1,000 kilograms, and 1 kilogram has 1,000 grams. So that means you multiply by 1,000. So this one gives you 1. It gives you 1 million. So here 1 million, it's B. Okay. The surface area of a cylinder. Now this is why I told you to have to know the formulas in your head. Here we have 2 formulas that look alike, but this is for, this could be, actually, yeah, this is for volume of 2 cylinders, whereas this is the surface. This is the surface area. So the answer here is supposed to be H. The last one, the floor plan. This is it. A plan that shows how items are arranged in a certain place. A plan. So finished. That was supposed to be. These are the possible answers that we have. Okay, let's continue and we look at question number 1.2. 1.2. In each of the statements below, choose the correct word or words from those given in brackets to make the statement true. Write only word or words next to the question number. We're going to do the same, but anyway, here is probability is always less than or equal to 1. Remember our answer for probability? The answer for probability lie in between 0 and 1, but it will never be a negative. Okay. When calculating the amount of medicine administered to the toddlers, we round up or down the medical answer in millimeters. We have to round down to avoid what? Overdose. Okay. A flow rate of 12.5 liters per hour is equivalent to 25 liters in 2 hours. Just get this when you multiply this, because if only 1 hour you have 2, what about 2 hours? You'll have this much. So here the answer is supposed to be 2. Here I'm saying down. Here we are having less than. Then an elevation plan of a building is a 3D presentation of the building. The elevation shows walls, an elevation to elevate, stand. So it's a 3D. It's a 3D. A 2D could be a plan. All right, 1.3. The picture below shows 10 hottest and 10 coldest countries in the world based on their average temperatures over time. So when you look at it, definitely the ones in negatives are the coldest, Actually, yeah, you may start from here like this. Hottest, we come down and we see. Okay, the question says, write down the average temperature in Sweden. Average temperature in Sweden. Sweden is around here. Swedish. So we have, don't forget that. Then name the third hottest country. The third. So now here, when you realize, you see, okay, this is 27, but this is 28,29. We have 28,25. We have 28,2. We have 28. So the hottest. So if this is 1, 2, then the third is going to be Kiribati or Kiribati. But they've not told us to mention the degrees. They just say the third hottest. Round off. Russia's average temperature to the nearest degree Celsius, centigrade. We come here, you see. Look for Russia. Russia, it's up here. If you have to round off this, it's negative 5,35. Negative 5,35, which becomes negative 5. Can you get the difference? The difference, when you hear difference, this simply means you're going to subtract. Okay, the difference between average temperatures of Senegal and Iceland. So you're going to take the temperature in Senegal minus that in Iceland. Let's go and we see. Senegal is 27. Look at it, it's here. 27,85 minus 27,85 minus, let's go and we see, Iceland is negative 0,7. So minus 0, so you pick your calculator. When it comes to such a scenario, please don't hesitate, because some people will give you answers that you've never seen before. Minus, then they said minus. Don't worry, we can do that. And the answer became 28,55. Don't forget, these are the degrees that we are looking at. 28,55. Write down the names of all countries that have the exact temperature, like the same temperature. So when you look here, you look at that. This has the same as this one. So you had to write this, you had to write that. When you come down here, you look at that and this. They have exact temperature. They have exact temperature. So you have to write that down. We don't have any other. Let me see. 1,50. This was 2,10. Okay. Then we continue. Let's look at question number 2. Question number 2. For the mathematical literacy project, I'm starting with this because I don't have. For the mathematical literacy project, Clive needed to record the gender of customers and most popular color of outfit customers wore as they entered the supermarket. He recorded the gender of the customer and the colors of their outfits. Okay, some values have been omitted. Values of A. Calculate the missing value of A. Calculate the missing value of A. Now, A, simple. This is what? Total. Coming from, meaning we are going to add this. So simply meaning our A will be 43 minus 25. So A became 18. Then B. B, when you look at it, it's the same story also. These two numbers, when you add them, they should give you this. So what do we say? B will equal to the total minus 10. So your B becomes 12. C, C, we add all these values, add all these values on top, you get the value of C. And when you add them nicely, the value of C is 88. Now, if this is 88, what about D? So meaning D will equal to the value of C plus 68. 68 is coming from here. Why am I? Because here we are looking at what we call the total. So this became D will equal to 88 plus 60. And the answer became 156. 156. All right, 2.2.2, determine the probability of randomly selecting a female from people wearing green. Now, the first thing you're going to do for me, go to green and you identify people wearing green. We are here, green. You understand? So how many people are there? There are 29. So out of the 29, what is the probability that you pick a female? How many females do we have? We have 16. So it will become 16 over 29. Okay. Clive wrote down the following probability as a possible outcome. It says outcome. So give the gender and the color of the. Now, ask yourself, this is what? Sample over what we call the population. So which among the sums or among the total, which total do we have here? We have it here, 68. Oh, 68 is here. So that means the gender is what? Male. Now, when you follow this line here like this, which color, which part has 25? It's black. It's black. Three point 1.2. A circular pond A has a diameter of 120 centimeters and a depth of 0.5 meters. Calculate in centimeters cubed the volume of they have given the formula, but what happens? They want the answer in centimeters. What had to be? The depth had to change to centimeters. Meters to centimeters, we multiply by 100 and the answer becomes 50 centimeters. So you're good to go. You're in centimeters here. Here you're also in centimeters. So that's the diameter. The formula needs a radius. So radius will equal to 120 divided by 2 and the answer became 60 centimeters. Also, that's good to go. Come and substitute in, it becomes 3,142 times 60 squared times 50. The depth, you know? Was 3,142 times 60, the radius, and the depth, which is 50. So 3,142 times 60 squared times 50. So we have the answer as 565,560. 565,560 centimeters cubed. Okay. They're telling us the surrounding of the circumference of the fish pond is in a row of paving bricks. Each paving brick is 20 centimeters long. Determine the circumference of the paved outer edging of the fish pond. We don't have. This could have been times the diameter, which is 160, 120. 120. So 3,142 times 120. All right, if we look at 3.1.3, it's saying a rectangular paved area C between the garden, calculate. Determine the total number of paving bricks in the first row closest to the middle center. So these ones here, when you count these numbers here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Determine the total number of pavers bricks in the first row. We've seen them, we are seeing 12 of them. We have 12 pavers. Right? Paving bricks. Then calculate the total cost, including VAT, of the material required to pave the entire sitting area B. So what we're going to do is to find out how many do we need. Now we've seen these smaller ones are 12. When you count then, this second row also, they are 20. Lastly, the big ones are also 20. So how many pavers do you have? So simply meaning 20 plus 12 plus 20 becomes 52. You understand? These are pavers, but then these pavers are sold in 13. So we divide it by 13 to find out how many boxes shall they have. You find out that it's 4. So how much is one box? It's 754. Okay. We are looking for money now. The answer here would be in money. What else do we need to consider? The middle stone there. The middle paver. 1. How much is it? 120. 2580. We need to add it. And then the other material. So simply meaning we shall need to add. So when you add, what do you get? Add up what do you get? We have that much. 125,8 plus 123 plus 4 times 567, 40. So this one here, when you add everything, you end up having 4,005 rand. You know, when you add this, we said it, you get the answer as You get this as this much. We have that much. This one here, 4 times 6. We have 2,629 rand 60 cents. Add these two, you end up having this much. But this we need to include VAT. 1,15. 1,15. And the answer becomes question number 3. That brings us to question number 3. Sorry, it brings us to question number 4. Question number 4 talks of Nikita wants to open her own pet shop. The operating hours of the pet shops are given in the table 4 below. Days of the week, Monday to Friday, it opens from 7:30 to 17 hours, and on Saturday it opens from 8 hours to 13 hours. All right, Nikita sells fish in the shape of the mini aquarium blocks as shown in diagram below. So these are the diagrams, and we shall see what we shall do with them. Determine in simplified form the ratio of the length to width of the mini aquarium. So what you do first is to write down. So we are looking at ratio to width. We go to our information that we need to pick. Ratio of length to width. So for length we have 11,6 is to 7. Width is 7,6. You can put this in your calculator. Take it to be 7,6 divided by 11,6. The answer becomes like, and you can write that simplified form. You can't go any further. It's 19 is to 29. Okay, calculate the total number of hours that the pet shop will be open in 1 week. Calculating the total number of hours. So the first one says from 17 to 7:30. How many hours are those? We need to see, and we shall say 17 hours. 17 hours minus 7:30. And here you get 9 hours and 30 minutes. Then, what about the Saturday? It's from 8 to 1. So how many hours are those? Also look for them. So it becomes 13 minus 2. So here the time here is going to be the time. These are 5 hours. So we are going to add this, and we are going to add it onto this. So it's going to be 9:30 plus 5, which becomes 9. Sorry. In 1 week, it will be open 14 hours and 30 minutes. Let's look at 4.1.3. Calculate the total number that will be done. Each mini aquarium will take 75% of its capacity in water. Determine the amount of water left over in a jar of 1,000 milliliters after filling 1 mini. After filling the one mini aquarium. So first and foremost, you need to find this volume that is there at the moment. Allow me to use this part here. We shall say volume equals, okay, it's already given to you. So we're going to bring out the length, breadth, and the height. So it's going to be take note of that. We shall say volume will equal to 11,6 times 7,6 times 10, okay. So here the answer we get it as 925,68. These are centimeters what? Cubed. But it's the same as millimeters. The reason why I'm changing to millimeters, because what I'm looking at is what? Millimeters. Now this is a full capacity, but we're looking for 75%. So we look for 75%, multiply by 75%. When you multiply by 75%, you ended up having, so this is the water that will be put in the aquarium. So they're asking what will be left over. What do? We shall get this minus the one that's going to be used, so which is 1,000 minus 690, 94 rands, 94 mils, 26. Yeah, when you subtract, the answer becomes 3 milliliters. Okay. Nikita received a different piece of assembling that mini Cooper, so the mini aquarium tank. The picture below shows different steps required to assemble one mini aquarium. You may assume that the colors of the ink, you may assume that the colors of the frames of the tank are the same in all pictures. We have instructions A, B, C, D. What do we see? Mainly, which step would be number one is the one with the less what? Less steps. Yes, when usually starts, it should be number one. The one that towards the end, it's the one that has more items in the picture. Anyway, let's look at the question and we see what happens here. We're going to match. Place the outer frame over the transparent inner to cover it. Which instruction is that? Because it says place the outer frame over the transparent inner cover. Place the transparent. So B can qualify. B can qualify also D. So here, let's see. For now, let's put D. Pull in opposite direction. Aye, this one is already seen. Look at these directions, the arrows. Yes, sir? This is taking to the right, and this is taking to the left. So here we have A, opposite direction, done. The hole in the feeding or to put a light. The hole is for feeding or to put a light. Now, which part here has a hole? It's this. So we shall come here, we say if the roll so we are going on and saying one hand will hold the transparent inner tank and while other hand will hold the outer frame. So here we are looking for a place that has two hands holding. There's this B here, transparent and the cover. So we have a B here. Add water and decorating items as you like. It's here. C. Close tightly and by pressing down on the outer frame. By pressing down on the outer frame. There's this. There's also this one here. This one, it could be the best. Right? E. E is the answer there. Okay. Let's look at 4.3. Nakita decided to assemble a few of the mini aquarium against the wall at the front desk. There is 5 centimeter space between each mini aquarium tank along the length of the wall. In every odd room, the mini aquarium takes or tank starts at the end against the wall. It's fine. Determine in centimeters the height of one mini. The height. This is what we are looking at. This. But they want it in centimeters. So what you're going to do, ask yourself, they have already given you here that if you only have 1 millimeter, you have, in other words, if you have 0.1 centimeter, because we can change this milli to centimeters before you calculate by dividing by 10. So the answer here becomes 0.1. Okay, so they're asking us, determine the height in centimeters. So what you're going to ask yourself, if 1 millimeter is equivalent to 0.0394 inches, and for you have 4.3 inches, what will you end up doing? We shall ask and we shall multiply, cross multiply. So this became 43 divided by 0.0394. 4.3 divided by 0.0394. So here the answer became, but remember we need to make it what? We have to make it centimeters. So we divide this by centimeter by 10. So the answer became 10.91 centimeters. Calculate the total number of mini aquarium that tanks Nikita will be able to place in the bottom row to maximize the space. So now what you have to know is that from here up to there, what is the length? The length they have already told us is what? 199 centimeters. So what we're going to do, we are going to divide. But before we divide, mind you, we are placing this like this. So it has 5. Also here is another one, 5. So in other words, the aquarium will have 5 plus 2 plus 5, which becomes, so now having done that, we find out how many shall we fit on the long side. So we shall take it to be 1999 divided by 22. When you divide by 22, you end up having 9,04. We are not interested in this. We are interested in the final answer, which is what? 9, 9. Final answer, it's 9. 9 aquariums that will fit there. All right, then we look at that. The exact time of the day shows the time the driver finished his fastest lap. Calculate the two decimal places at what time Oscar started. The exact time shows the time when the driver finished. That means this is the end. And they have spent this much. At what time did he start? So it's 2, 3, 28, 54 minus 'We're going to do that and we shall say 23, 28, 54 minus 1, 35, 35,490. All right. Tabiso is a grand oil fanatic and wants to buy a framed poster of then the dimensions of the frame are 630 millimeters by 45 millimeters and 420 millimeters by 45 millimeters. Overlap is 2,5 centimeters throughout. 2,5 centimeters throughout. Anyway, what are we looking at? The question that we are looking at here, it's going to be the frame. So the frame has 2 horizontal pieces of wood mounted across 2 vertical pieces of wood with overlaps. See the picture and the diagram above. Calculate in the millimeters the inner length and width of the frame. Now here we are, the inner. So the inner starts from where? From here. It starts from there and it touches this other one here. Same applies. So now what we need to think about now is that because they have told you already, they have told you here we have some information. What simply means here is that outside, ne? Outside this is supposed to be, but you're looking for inner. That means it's going to be, we need to remove this part here and also remove that plus the overlap. Anyway, it will be 360 minus this width here from here, which is 40, which is 90, minus the overlaps, which are 50 also. So here the answer becomes 490 millimeters. That this is the length, the inner, because we needed to remove this space here, and we add on again the overlaps. Okay, what about the width? What are we going to do? Same story. It's coming up, coming down. Here it says it will be, the width will be 420 minus 90 minus 50. The answer became 280. So let's look at this. The person responsible for replacing claims that it's not enough exactly within the frame. Verify showing all calculations. Remember, look, we've just got our new, the inner one, we've just got it as 400 and what? 90. 490. What are we going to do for you here? What we're going to do, we are comparing 490 minus. So we say it's what? It concludes. It's enough. Then what about the width? The width we are going to take to 280 minus 270, and we have 10. So it can, we say it can what? It can fit. This, it can fit.